Hello and welcome to the Clever Fox YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a comparison of two different Clever Fox planners. We have the Clever Fox Weekly Planner Pro and the Clever Fox Daily Planner Pro. The weekly is a 12-month planner and the daily is a 3-month planner because it's every day. These are both undated planners, which means that you can start them at any time, but perhaps you don't know which one is going to be best for you. Today we are going to go through each section of both planners so that you can decide which one is right for you in terms of planning out your day, your week, your month, and accomplishing all of the goals that you will set in this planner. So make sure that you watch until the end, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos. Let's get started. So to start, let's talk about some basics when it comes to the Daily Pro and the Weekly Pro. They are the same size, they both have a band to keep your planner closed, and the Weekly has 3 ribbons for you to note what date or month it is or your goals, as does the Daily. These 3 ribbons here that you could put throughout your planner. The Daily is just a little bit thicker, just a tiny bit up here, because it is going to have days for 3 months. So the weekly planner is annual and the daily planner is 3 months because each day has its own page. So it's going to be more of a quarterly planner than an annual one. But both planners are undated, so you can start them wherever you want. Let's open the ones that I've filled in here. Both planners have the awareness and self-discovery and the daily rituals, vision boards, what you want your life to be like 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years from now, annual goals in terms of categories like health and fitness, business and career, family and friends, relationships and romance, finance, personal development, fun and recreation, and spiritual, 3-month goals, mind map for the year, and then the monthly calendar where you also have a month in review. So you get 12 of those when it comes to the weekly planner, and then this is what the weekly overview looks like. So let's zoom in here and kind of take a look. So each week is going to be on 2 pages. On the left side, the month and year, and then each day of the week. And we have today's goal and priorities. And on the right side of the page, this week's main goal, reward if achieved, this week's priorities, work to-do list, personal to-do list, habits and skills, life balance to-do list based on those same categories, 3 things that you are excited about, a whole bunch of empty space here for notes. This can be notes of things that come up throughout the week or things that you want to keep in mind for next week. Then these 3 sections, this week's wins, lessons learned, and how I will improve next week. And you have 52 of those because of all of the weeks in the year. Then at the end of this planner, we have a ton of dot grid note paper for you to do whatever you would like. You can use this for work notes or personal notes, books that you want to read. You can plan out Christmas or a birthday party, things like that. So there's a ton of note paper in here that's really helpful to be able to use. And it also comes with a pocket in the back. Then let's look at the daily, and then we're going to kind of compare the two in terms of which one may be best for you. So again, this is a quarterly planner and it has that same set of opening pages where you can really create your ideal life using this Clever Fox planner. And then we have the month, including a monthly review. What were the biggest wins? What did you learn and insights gained? Which life areas were lacking and why? What tasks were not accomplished and why? How do I feel about my progress this month? On a scale of 1 to 10, how do I feel overall about this past month? And how will I improve next month? So now let's flip to the daily. So this is going to be daily set up in sort of a weekly format. So when the week starts, you have this page, which is similar to the weekly planner, this week's main goal, reward if achieved, this week's priorities, work to-do list, personal to-do list, habits and skills, life balance to-do list. I will learn something new this week I am looking forward to, with a set of dot grid down here to be able to use as you would please. Now let's look at what a day looks like. So again, it's undated. You could start this whenever you want. Maybe you want to take a day off and then come back to it without having an empty page in your planner. You might be able to stretch this more than 3 months. So today's main goal and today's priorities. Then the schedule. The schedule goes from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. with 2 lines here if you wanted to do a half-hour block. Then you have a whole to-do list. I am excited about what I will do to feel happy today. More note sections where you could start to plan out tomorrow. You could journal about the day, things like that. Rate your productivity, a little checkbox here, today's main goal achieved, and how I will improve tomorrow. And that's what each day is going to look like. So now, because this was the weekly overview, we have each of the days over here until we get to the end, which has dot grid note paper to do as you wish with, and then a weekly review. And I really love the weekly review. There's so much that you can gain from spending time to plan out your week and evaluate your previous week. So we have goal achieved and reward myself, this week's big wins, what tasks were not completed this week and why, what habits did I not pursue this week and why, what have I learned this week, what did I do for myself this week, what made me happy, how do I feel about my progress this week, how will I improve next week? And then check boxes, reviewed this week, vision refreshed, goals refreshed, plan for the next week. So this is so great in terms of setting goals. And then we have the week of and day and date for the daily planner. And then of course, there'll be another week in review following that. So let's look a little bit further at these 2 planners side by side and which one may be best for you if you are searching for your next planner. So both planners have this same page of the goal, priorities, and the habit trackers and all of the to-do lists. And I think that that's really wonderful. If you are someone who just needs that once, and then you know how to plan out your week, and maybe you don't need a daily planner. Perhaps you don't need hourly. Every day looks the same to you. Maybe 9 to 5 you work, and then you kind of go about your other to-dos and things like that through after those work hours. The weekly might be beneficial for you unless you wanted to use the daily as a work planner, where on a day here, you could write down a couple of priorities and to-dos. You could note bills and appointments, things that you have, but there's not a ton of space. So if you don't need all of that space for every single day, you just kind of need your top priorities, this might be the planner for you. And remember, there are the 3 priorities here. So technically, you really have space for 1 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 lines with each day if you want to break it up by the lines, today's goal, and priorities. If you don't need to schedule out every hour and you don't have a ton of to-dos, this could be ideal for you because again, you have all of this space here, work to-do list, personal to-do list, or maybe you just want to use both of these for work or both of these for personal. You can always put a sticker over this to customize it for whatever you need. And you know that maybe you'll have 10 or so to-dos total throughout the week and then be able to just kind of jot down things that you need to remember each day. So I really love this for someone who, again, doesn't need to plan out every hour. And maybe you are a teacher. This could be really good because a teacher would have the same schedule. Your students might have the same schedule. You could note other things like maybe a gym or art class that could be in here. And then of course you wouldn't necessarily need the Saturday and Sunday, but you could use them to start to plan out next week. So I think that whether you are a teacher or you have an office job or work from home, this could definitely be a great planner to use in order to set up your week and your day based on the beginning pages where we created a mind map and set our goals. Now let's look at who the daily planner might be good for. Perhaps you are someone who does prefer to schedule out every hour of the day or the hours in the day that you are awake, of course, this is the planner for you. We just spoke about teachers for the weekly. This would be a great planner for a teacher as well, or definitely a student, because you'll really need to block out when you have certain classes or things due throughout each day. But even as a teacher, you'll want to maybe note your lesson plans or things like that. If you are someone who wants to use this for work, this schedule is really ideal. Of course, you might not need some of the hours here, but you could plan out your meetings, when you're going to send invoices, when you might make shipments, depending on what your job looks like. This would be really ideal. And you could use these sections for personal or work, things you're excited about, what you'll do to feel happy. This daily planner would make the ideal work planner because everything here, aside from maybe life balance to-do list, would work in terms of a work schedule. I know for me personally, habits and skills, there's definitely habits that I need to track each day of work, things that need to be done each day. And then the life balance to-do list, of course, can be adjusted a little bit. But I think that what's great about the daily is that there's a ton of room here for the schedule, but many daily planners that we often see only have a schedule and a couple of to-dos. This planner is so perfectly curated to guide you towards your goals, where you have, again, the main goal, the priorities, the to-do list, the schedule, and then I'm excited about what I will do to feel happy. And I really love the week in review. So I want to compare the weekly review in the daily to the weekly review in the weekly, although I believe actually the weekly only has a monthly review. So let's go to the monthly review here. And this would be another thing to consider if you are trying to decide which planner is the best for you. If you think that a monthly review is enough for you and you don't need to review your week every single week, the weekly one might be ideal because you can note the biggest wins, the biggest lessons learned and insights gained, which life areas were lacking. We already went through this, but this is really a monthly review. For someone with more maybe of a type A personality, or you really just like to plan out every moment, the weekly review can be really helpful because you have all of this space to jot down anything that you want, whether it's notes of things that came up throughout the week, ideas that you have. Maybe you want to use this to track your spending. You can journal in it, all of that kind of stuff. And then the weekly review will allow you to look at the previous week and kind of plan ahead to next week. And I think that it's a big win. Both of these planners are amazing. They're both so perfectly created in order to help you decide what your goals are by using the beginning pages and figure out how to best incorporate those into your life, especially with the habit trackers and also the sections with the life balance to-do list. So much of achieving and accomplishing our goals is putting them in our planner. We set New Year's resolutions many times in January, and then maybe you don't look at it. But when it's in your planner, you are already set up for success because you are taking it from your dreams and making it into a reality. So comment below and let us know which of these planners you think would best suit your needs and your life. They can be purchased over at cleverfoxplanner.com. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure that you subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell so that you are notified whenever we post a new video sharing how to use our planners and all the different varieties we offer. Thank you again, and we will see you soon.